Okay, I have to tell you, when I walk a client into a well-done pool cabin for the first time, their reaction is always the same.
First thing they do is they pull out their phone and start running numbers.
Every single time. And honestly, the investors who buy these things right, they don't regret it.
The ones who buy wrong do, and the difference between those two people is not luck. It's about the decisions made before they ever sign anything.
Today, we're breaking down exactly what makes a luxury pool cabin perform in 2026, because this market has evolved, and the investors who understand that evolution are winning big.
Yes, they are. We're also comparing the numbers against smaller cabins because depending on where you are financially, one of these makes significantly more sense than the other right now.
Let's get into it. First, why the Smokies? Over 13 million visitors a year, more than Yellowstone, Yosemite, and the Grand Canyon, one of the most consistent tourism markets in the entire country.
The demand is not the question. The question is how you position within the supply. And the supply has grown significantly since COVID.
Everyone built luxury cabins. Indoor pools, game rooms, theaters, the amenities arms race was real, which means the market is more competitive than it was 3 years ago.
Which is actually good news for buyers who know what they're doing. The cabins are positioned correctly are pulling away from everything else. The gap between a well-run pool cabin and a poorly run one has never been wider.
The rising tide used to lift all boats. Now it lifts the right boats.
And that's the opportunity.
So, the Flagship investment, the pool cabin, $800,000 to $1.5 million, depending on size, location, and views. I want to start it with why these properties work, because it attracts a completely different type of guest.
Large groups, multifamily vacations, corporate retreats, wedding parties, 12 people splitting a $900 nightly rate. Their person cost is less than a hotel room downtown. The price objection essentially disappears.
And that guest isn't shopping the same way a couple booking 2 nights is. They found the cabin that fits their group, and they book it. They're buying the experience. Price is secondary.
Gross revenue on a well-positioned pool cabin typically runs between $150,000 to $250,000 a year in strong locations. Those numbers are real.
But here's where Jason and I always get into it. Because he physically cannot let anyone celebrate a gross number without making sure they've thought it through and they have the full picture.
Gross is what shows up on the listing. Net is what you keep. So before you fall in love with that top line, here's what to consider. Consider the pool operating costs, heating the water, and runs an additional $300 to $400 a month in electricity. That's a line item to build in from day one. Consider the maintenance cost cycle. Pool equipment has a lifespan, so you should typically have between $3,000 to $8,000 in reserves for replacements.
That's true.
So it means there's never a crisis, just routine expenses. Consider your cleaning costs. Pool cabin turnovers take longer. Factor that into your net projections up front, and consider your slow months. The mortgage comes out on February, whether you're at 80% occupancy or 30%. The investors who win ran their math on February, not just October.
And when you've thought it through it all and that deal still works, you're buying with confidence, not hope. And that's a completely different feeling going into a purchase.
Yes, that's exactly the position you want to be in.
So what does a winning investor actually look like? Because we've seen both sides.
Investor A bought a 5-bedroom pool cabin 35 minutes outside of Gatlinburg. Beautiful property, and it was priced like it was downtown. Didn't account for the slow months. January hit them hard, 28% occupancy, the fixed cost, they don't care.
Now, investor B bought a 4-bedroom cabin with a mountain view, 10 minutes from the parkway, hired a management company that prices dynamically, planned for a slow February before it ever closed. February came in, and it was just part of the plan.
Same asset class, completely different outcomes. The difference was preparation, not the property itself.
That's right. You know, investor B, he's already talking to us about his second cabin. Now, the other path. 1 or 2 bedrooms, $400,000 to $650,000, no pool. I have a genuine spot for this one, because for a lot of investors, this is where the great story starts.
Lower cost entry, smaller mortgage, leaner operating overhead, year-round occupancy that's more consistent across all 12 months.
Couples, solo travelers, small families, they don't need to coordinate 12 people and find the weekend where everyone's free. They book Tuesday to Thursday because they felt like it. Midweek occupancy is where small cabins quietly do very well.
Yes. Gross revenues typically run between $65,000 and $110,000 a year. Lower top line, but cash flow is stable, financing is straightforward, and the slow months are manageable without significant reserves.
That's right. We had a client buy a 2-bedroom in West Valley, $510,000. Nothing glamorous, good location, updated interior, great views. A year later, she calls me and says, Ivette, I made the boring choice, and I cannot believe it how happy I am about it.
72% occupancy for the year. That's awesome.
She built equity, learned how the market actually moves from the inside, and now she's coming back to us ready to scale into a luxury property, which she's ready for, from a position of strength, not pressure.
That's the right sequence. Side by side, luxury cabins deliver high gross revenue, access to the premium market group, and stronger long-term appreciation ceiling. Smaller cabins deliver more stable all-year-round occupancy, lower overhead, and more forgiving entry point while you learn the market.
Neither is it's a wrong choice. They're right for different people at different stages.
Yes. Run your numbers on your worst month. If that number still works, you're ready for the pool cabin. If it makes you uncomfortable, start smaller, build equity, and get there from strength.
He makes it sound so simple.
It is simple. People just skip that step.
If you're new here, hi, I'm Ivette Fields.
And I'm Jason Fields with the Devoted Home Group at Keller Williams.
We specialize in investment cabins, relocation, and luxury real estate in East Tennessee. And every week we give you the honest picture, what's actually performing, what's moving, and what you need to know before making any decision.
No hype, just numbers and ground level reality.
So what are we actually seeing from investors who are winning on pool cabins right now?
They didn't just buy most impressive looking property, they bought the most strategically positioned one. Views, proximity to the parkway, a management company with real dynamic pricing infrastructure, not someone who sets a rate and checks it quarterly.
Right. And they went into this having thought it through it all. Full operating picture. Nothing surprised them. That's what separates confidence from stress in this investment.
Yes. The market has more supply than 2021. The premium now goes to the property that earns its premium through location, presentation, and management quality, not just through having a pool.
Right. Not just having water run through the inside of the house. And that is a direct quote from Mr. Fields here.
Hey, I stand by it.
For these newer investors, our guidance is generally to start with a strong small cabin, build footing, scale into a luxury when the positioning is right. But if you have the reserves and want to go straight into luxury, hey, let's go. We can absolutely help you find the right one for you, and that's the key phrase, the right one.
We've watched investors buy the right pool cabin and build serious wealth. Decisions almost always come down to due diligence, not the asset itself. Bottom line, luxury pool cabins are a strong investment when you want to buy the right one at the right price, with the right operator, and the preparation that goes to back it up. Get those things right, and this is a powerful wealth-building asset.
And if that's the goal, we want to help you get there right away. Not just fast, the right way.
If you're early in your journey, start smaller, build equity, learn the market from the inside, then scale it to luxury from strength.
Some of our best lines started with a 2-bedroom in West Valley and now own 3 properties. That's the path that works.
Start where the math is honest, scale when it's right.
And where you are in the journey, we're here. Questions about buying, selling, or investing in East Tennessee? Drop them in the comments. We genuinely read every single one of them.
And we will definitely answer.
With Jason and Ivette Fields with Devoted Home Group at Keller Williams,
your resource for anything East Tennessee. Adios, amigos.
This video was produced by our creative team, Aglaya Media.
You can find more details in the description.